I just bought this 2018 Ford F150 and the driver's side electric mirror control doesn't work in the left and right direction. It works in the up and down but doesn't work in the left and right. So I'm going to troubleshoot that today and see if I can figure out what's wrong. So to move the mirrors, I'm going to need to put the key in the ignition and just turn it to the on position. I don't need to crank the car. Then I'll use the mirror switch over here, the power mirror switch. To try to move the mirrors, I'll select the left mirror here, and you can see the little orange light lights up. And I'm gonna move the mirror up, move it down, left, nothing, right, nothing. So it works in the up and down position, but it does not work going left and right. Now, one thing, the dealer said it was probably the switch, and so they sent me a new switch, but I don't believe it's the switch because, for one thing, the right mirror works in every direction. When I switch it over to the right position, it works in every direction, so I don't think it's the switch. And I can also, when I'm trying to move it left and right, I can hear the motor. I don't know if you can hear that. You hear the motor running in there. So the switch is working. It's just that the mirror is not moving. So I watched another video that talked about this. It shows how to remove the mirror. So I'm going to remove the mirror and see if I can't see if there's a mechanical obstruction in there. To work on the mirror, I'm going to go ahead and just bend it out this way so that I can get to it a little bit easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and press on the top right corner of the mirror to expose the bottom right corner. There's a slot for your screwdriver up under here. I don't know if you could see it, but there's some plastic guides that just guide your screwdriver right into the slot, and then you twist it. I'll show a little more closely when I get it off. So I'm gonna place the screwdriver right up in this slot. Like I said, there's little guides that just bring the screwdriver, they kind of guide it into where it's supposed to go, and then you just twist it gently, and that pops the clips loose. As it clips pop loose, you can stick the screwdriver in further and continue popping the mirror loose like that. Okay, the whole thing comes loose. In the case of my mirror, there's no mirror warmer connected, so you better be holding on to it when it pops loose, because it will just drop on the ground otherwise. So when you pop it loose, make sure you've got a good grip on it, okay? Here's where the screwdriver guide is. So I just slid my screwdriver up in there, twisted the screwdriver to pop it loose, and then just continued on in and popped it loose. So these little clips are what's holding it on. There are 8 of them all the way around. And I've heard if you do it this way, you don't break those clips. If you try to get the clips individually, that's a nightmare from what I've heard. So I've got the mirror loose, and I'm going to try actuating the mirror now with the mirror off and see what happens with this platform. See if it actually can move, because the suspicion is that maybe these clips are impeding its movement. And I also, as you look in here, you can see this is where the clips ride. These little metal clips on here ride inside here and here. And boy, that looks filthy. So this could use a good cleaning and maybe even lubricating with some grease. So I'm going to try all that and then put it back on. But first I'll actuate it with the mirror off and just see if it moves freely. Okay, so with the driver's side selected on the switch, I'll go left. You can see some slight movement. Go right. I don't see any movement to the right. Up. Up looks good. Down is working. Okay, and right is definitely not working. Let's go ahead and just bend it back to the right and see if left is working. Looks like left is working now. So definitely not working in the right direction. So that being the case, then these little guides are not the problem. Although it wouldn't hurt to lubricate those. But something's wrong inside this little motor. So need to see if I can take that out. There's some 3 Torx screws here that need to come off. Okay, the Torx screws are actually a T15.
I'll just take each one of these off. You got access hole through the black one here. Just take that one off. Alright, and then the whole assembly
comes out. It's clipped on. Not sure you can see it from that angle, but here on this angle, this little clip right here was holding it in, so that just popped loose when I pulled on it, and the whole thing is being held in by that connector right there. Just sorry about the lighting here. So that connector just popped loose from the back. Here you can see the 3 or 4 holes where that connector connects. So I'm gonna have a look at this part right here and see what I can figure out. Okay, so in looking at this, the first thing that I see is that there's a clip holding this little axle here, and there's a clip behind this axle here that should be holding it. So I think what I need to do, like this doesn't just press back down onto that. You can see it from the side here too. Right in here is where that little axle needs to be down in there. So I've got a problem there, and it's bottomed out on, in this direction. So I think I need to go ahead and connect it again and turn it back so that it's level, and then see if I can get this clip engaged. Okay, so I'm going to plug this plug back into the back of the mirror actuator, and it has little clips on either side. Underneath here, you see that little clip right there that snaps on like that. Okay, so once I put that on, I should be able to adjust the mirror back. Okay, you can probably see this little white, thing turning. That's supposed to be engaged with something. Let's see. What if we... So if we press down, it goes down. If you press up, okay, I'm pressing up and it's going up. Pressing down and it's going down. When I press right to try to get this to flatten out, I said it was planed up this way. When I press right, nothing happens to pull it down, but this thing is turning. So let's see if we can figure out what that's supposed to be doing. You can see this is a little ball, and it's supposed to be up in this little slot here. It's supposed to be popped in. You can see how the one that's engaged over here, it is popped in there. See the little white ball up in the thing? So I think if I just were to press this down, oops. Well, I need to go out again. Let it press out. Okay, see, so this little white ball comes out, but when I press right, look, it just goes back down. Doesn't bring the mirror with it because it's not popped in there. So I need to somehow get that popped on. Now when I try to just press it on, the whole thing goes back in. Okay, and then I'm pressing it back out again. So what I'm going to do is put it out all the way, okay, until it snaps. And it's not engaged. You can see it's not engaged in there. The white ball is out. See, that's what an engaged one looks like. So I'm going to grab this guy with my needle nose pliers back in here. Try not to damage it. I'm going to get a rag actually and grab that, and then I'm going to press it on. Okay, so let's see how that goes. Okay, so I'm going to put this rag over the needle nose like that, and then just, you won't be able to see much, but you can see I'm grabbing this actuator by the bottom, and now I'm going to press on the platform really hard until it pops in. I don't know if you could hear that, but it popped into place, and now you can see this little white knob is engaged, just like the other one. Now, I would expect when I move it, goes all the way out, and then back in, up, down, left. Oh wait, now this is up and this is right, left, up, and down. Now I want to extend it to the left to get it all the way out, and then just get my rubber boot up over that so that it's covering like it was covered. Okay. It looks like I'm missing part of this rubber boot. I wonder if that was part of the problem in the first place. But anyway, all of the function has been returned to the mirror actuator. So now I'm just going to set the mirror to a neutral position. So about halfway right and left, and then halfway up and down, so that this is flat. And go ahead and reinstall it. You know, the orientation here, I have lost my, I think it was like this. But if you're not sure, just put it in place, and I'll do left, okay, right, up, down. Okay, so I know I've got it in the right orientation like that. Okay, so I'm going to put the 3 screws back in. And again, this is a T15.
So once you've got the thing oriented right, the actuator, then go ahead and put in all your torque screws in the holes there.
Okay, once you've got the platform on there pretty solid, you can just pop the mirror on. You can't get it out of orientation because you have this corner here, so just make sure that these clips are inside these guides, like so. Get it centered pretty well, and you want to press on the center of the mirror pretty firmly. It takes both hands, apparently. If you press on the edges, it's going to flop back and forth like it did there. Okay, that feels pretty firm. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put it back in the driving position. I had it folded out to work on it, and we'll go ahead and test it. So left, right, up, and down. Now I think a key to keep this little white ball from popping out of the socket in the future is not to run it against the stops. Just adjust it. When you're done adjusting it, leave it alone. Don't run it all the way out, but just keep it, you know, in a normal position. So that was pretty simple, and it was free. So thanks for watching.